What's going on, guys? I'm Deathnation, and in today's video I'm going to talk about what I've been playing recently, go over my thoughts of the part 2 of season 2 premiere of The Walking Dead, which aired last night, as well as my first thoughts on Comic Book Men, AMC's new series done by Kevin Smith. So, get ready and check it out. Alright guys, so last night was Season 2, Part 2 premiere of The Walking Dead. A comic book that I love, one of the ones that I really enjoy. Now, at the end of the first part of Season 2, I was starting to be disinterested in the show. The episodes were getting bland, they were doing the same thing. In the comic book, it's a little bit more fast-paced, lots of different things are happening, and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to them getting off of Hershel's farm. And part 1 was just them looking for Sophia the First for the entire season. And it culminated in not a very spectacular way. Something that a lot of people saw coming once they introduced the barn and the barn full of zombies. So, part 2 premiered last night, and it got me super interested in the show again, which made me very happy because it's a comic book that I love. It's something I want to continue to support. So to see, them kind of rekindle the interest and the love that I had in Season 1, again with last night's episode, made me quite happy. So basically last night, they're cleaning up the walkers that they all killed, that Shane led out of the barn and they all shot, culminating with Sophie being in the barn and already being zombified. Which, the cleanup was really cool. One of the girls goes down to pick up her mother, who was in the barn. It's one of Hershel's daughters. Goes to pick up, her mother, like, oh my god, my mom. The zombie wasn't dead yet. She didn't get bitten or anything. But later on in the episode, we find out that she has a fever, she's not feeling well. So what's going on? The only thing I can take out of this is, during The Talking Dead last season, Robert Kirkman said that we were going to see, at some point this season, another way to transfer the zombie virus. Now, it's probably not airborne, but it's quite possible that the blood of that zombie either got in her mouth or into a cut that she had on her hand, something along those lines that we don't know of yet, and that's what's causing her to possibly become infected. It's the only thing I can think of besides, just the stress and just being sick. The other cool thing that happened last night was we saw Lori get into a car accident. Nobody knows that she's really gone. Rick went to look for Hershel because he started drinking again. Lori just kind of left, crashed the car. Nobody knows that she's crashed. She's still pregnant, which we found out last season, part 1 of season 2. So that's going on with Lori. But the thing that got me really interested was, at the end of the episode, Rick, Hershel, and Glenn are in a bar, and 2 other survivors decide to walk in. Now, these survivors are with a larger group, but there's only 2 of them right now, and they want to go to Hershel's farm. Rick, Hershel, and Glenn all refuse this, and it ends with Rick basically shooting both of them and killing them both. Which is a really weird twist for Rick, to see him kill an actual human being, which we haven't seen in the show yet. This is something I didn't think that they were going to bring into the show as early as it is, because that's something that doesn't happen in the books until much later. But it's got me really interested. The scenes from next week's episodes, both during AMC's Comic Book Men, as well as Talking Dead, it looks really good next week's episode. Definitely check out The Walking Dead if you haven't seen it yet, but it's really good. Now, last night, AMC also debuted their new show done by Kevin Smith called Comic Book Men. Now, this show basically follows the people that run Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash in Red Bank, New Jersey. Now, Red Bank, New Jersey is probably about an hour drive from my house. I haven't been there, but as a huge Kevin Smith fan, I know me, my fiance, and a bunch of my friends want to make a pilgrimage there. So it was nice to see, the people that are working there and stuff like that. The show is extremely funny. It was a little bit like Antiques Roadshow, but for the nerd. You got people coming in, bringing in old school action figures and old comics and stuff that they think is worth money that might not be worth money, and trying to sell to the store. It was quite neat. The dynamic between the four people that the show really follows is really nice. If they can keep this going for, the next 6 episodes and they get signed on for a season 2, I wouldn't be disappointed. The only thing that I'm worried about is whether or not they're going to be able to keep that dynamic going, keep the laughs coming, keep everything that, made that first episode so good. If they can keep that stuff going, then they got a hit on their hands. Alright, so now let's get into some video game talk. So what have I been playing? I have 2 games sitting in front of me right here that I've been playing. And the first one is Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. I ended up picking this thing up. It's quite a good game. I've been playing. I played for probably about 4 hours. It's very much like a single-player MMO. The faction quests are really good. The main storyline's really good so far. And I'm really enjoying it. The in-depth, skill trees and stuff like that make it a very nice, customization RPG, and the combat is amazing. My only problem with it so far is all the side quests are written really poorly, so I skip a lot of that dialogue because it's just like, hey, go kill 6 of these things, or hey, go collect this thing over here. Not something I'm really into, especially when it comes to a single-player console game. If this was an actual MMO where there was other people running around, I might enjoy those side quests a little bit more. But otherwise, this game so far is really good. I'll definitely review it for you guys when I'm done. But I got pulled away from Kingdoms of Amalur. Why? Because today's February 13th, tomorrow's February 14th, and on the Xbox Live Marketplace, we're getting the Mass Effect 3 demo. I am super pumped for that. As you can see, I'm wearing my N7 shirt. So, because I never finished Mass Effect 2, and I want to do that before I start playing the Mass Effect 3 demo, I picked up I started playing Mass Effect 2 again. Now, I started playing this again yesterday, and for the first time in a long time when it comes to video games, I was super excited to get home and play after work today. I really, really enjoy this game. My only problem with the Mass Effect universe is for all their promotional stuff, they use a male Shepard, and I personally play a female Shepard. I have since Mass Effect 1. And it bums me out a little bit that there's not more FemShep places. Now, they did do FemShep Friday, which was last Friday. They did a Mass Effect 3 trailer, which showed FemShep, which was quite cool. I just wish that they'd have her more in the game. I got to play this at New York Comic Con, a little bit of Mass Effect 3. So I'm hoping that the demo shines some more light on some of the questions that I have. I'm really worried about, them going off the rails, not so much RPG-ish. I know that you can play it, there's different settings that you can choose for Mass Effect 3. Like, if you just want to play it for story, you can just play it for story. Or if you want to play it like you played Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, you can play it that way as well. Or if you just want to play it for combat, where all your choices are made for you, you can do it that way as well. So, I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect 2. I'm almost done with this. I beat the main storyline. I'm just trying to complete the Arrival DLC currently. But once I'm done with all that, I would have completed all the DLC as well as this entire game, and I will be super ready for Mass Effect 3 when it comes out. My one question is, will the DLC from Mass Effect 2 carry over at all into Mass Effect 3? Like, will Kasuni be there, or the bounty hunter guy that's got the big scar on his face missing the eye? Will they actually be part of, Mass Effect 3? The other thing is, we've seen the Asari that was in Mass Effect 1. The name's really escaping me right now, and I feel really dumb for it. But she was my love interest in the first game. I did the Shadow Broker in the second game. And slight spoiler alert, at the end of that, she becomes the Shadow Broker. So, will that continue on into Mass Effect 3? And, we're going to find out how she's no longer the Shadow Broker and stuff like that. Still questions that remain to be seen. Now, if you want to leave me a comment, which I appreciate, you can leave it down below. If you like this video, please press the like button. If you want to see more of my stuff, where I'm going to be talking about more video games, I'm going to be getting more into comic books quite soon. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. if you want to get in touch with me directly, the best way to do that is via Twitter, and I'm at Death of Nation, which you can find in the video description below. But I'm Death of Nation, and this is the best video on the Citadel. Peace.